back. As you've probably heard in past videos, I call myself cheap. I'm cheap. I buy cheap tools. I stay at cheap hotels. So today, I'm going to show you how I do a cheap finish on a board. What I got here is just a piece of cheap pine. It's actually a stair step that I buy at Lowe's. It's like $9. It's an inch thick, probably a foot wide. Pretty good piece of pine. It's a lot cheaper than buying a 1x4. Then I've taken some oak and cut it down to 1/4 inch wide and just kind of put it around the outside of it just to give it some trim. Problem is, this just looks kind of bland. And I could use a dark stain, hey, make this thing nice and dark. But I don't want to do that. I kind of like, this light color a little bit, not much, but I do like the dark edging that's going to be on here, this oak. So instead of staining this, I'm going to rub some boiled linseed oil on it. But I'm going to manipulate this finish just a little bit on here. I just don't really like the color of this, so I'm going to darken it up just a little bit. And so, how am I going to darken this up? A torch. And what I'm going to do, and I'll show you here, is I'm going to take the torch and I'm just going to go along this and just kind of bring out the grain in this wood a little bit. I mean, I'm sure this is nothing new to anybody, but just in case, I thought, hey, I'd make a video on this because it is a neat finish. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to run this torch over this board and I'm going to really highlight the grain in this, really bring the grain out. And then I'm going to go back over it with 220 sandpaper. And that'll kind of, as you'll see, that grain gets a little shiny when it starts coming out there. I guess it brings out the oils in the wood or whatever. So I'm going to sand it down. Then I'm going to put that boiled linseed oil on it. So let's get to work on that. So we just get this here going. All right. See how that just kind of highlights that right there? What I'm going to do is I'm going to go along this edge up here first. Just going to kind of darken that oak trim a little bit. I'm not wanting to, char it or anything. Just get it going. I got a little dark down there. If you get a little too dark, it's really no big deal. You are going to be sanding it. But pretty much you just kind of want to follow that grain. Not too slow, not too fast. It is going to smoke a little bit. Yeah, don't stay on those nuts too long or it'll really draw out the sap in the wood. So basically I just want to get the grain in the wood highlighted. And anything that's that light color to that pine, just get it turned kind of darker than it is, because it will come back when I sand it back over this. But that's kind of, what you want to aim for right there. Let's do the other side now. And just like that, I got both sides of this highlighted, on the grain, burned in the grain there. You don't want to go overkill on it. Maybe I did just a little bit on this side here because it does kind of raise the grain. I did have this pretty smooth. It'll work out. This little hole right here, this shelf is going in my bedroom, and that's going to be just where some cables can go up to the cable box on this thing. So right now, let's get the sanding on this. So I've got my orbital sander here. Got 220 grit on there. I'm just going to lightly go over this and just kind of, just take the surface of it off, but not sand it all the way back down. As you can see, not too bad. I would like this side here a little bit darker, but I'm going to go ahead and go with this right here. Okay, let's get this wiped off here really good. I'm not worried about that back edge because it's not going to be seen, and this is going to be up against the wall. Now that it's got regular old boiled linseed oil, we'll just pour this on there. And I'll put my little rubber glove on here to protect my hand. I don't want to get that crap on there. Don't think it would hurt me anyway, but just in case. But now I'm just going to rub this in there. Let's get this out of the way. It does soak into this pine really good. Probably have to maybe put another coat on here. We'll just have to see. Get this other side going right here. Okay, let's let this rest and I'll come back to it here. Okay, I'm back here. I put on another coat of this after it dried. I'm going to go ahead and get it wiped off here. Man, that stuff is oily. Well, it is boiled linseed oil, so I guess it would be oily. Get this all wiped down here. And that there is pretty much what this is going to look like. Just kind of a rustic, I guess, look to it. I've known about the technique of burning the wood probably from 1999. This apartment that I used to live in had a shelf in it, and it had this on there, but it was stained with a darker stain. But you could see the black coming out of it. You know, the burnt part of it. Coming through it, it looked pretty cool. And so when I used to have my antique booth, I'd build some shelves and stuff. Then I'd treat the boards like this here. I'd run a torch over them, put a little stain on them, give it a rustic look and everything. I've actually made two of these shelves. I have this one here, and then I have this one here. Because I have to have a shelf in my office. So I decided, hey, I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I just want to show you a way that, inexpensively you can stain woods or, I guess this technique can be used on other stuff too. I've used it on furniture actually. But it's just a way of doing things without spending a lot of money. And wood's not cheap. I have found sometimes you can get stair treads cheaper than just a normal piece of wood. If you had to buy the wood to make the stair tread, it'd run you a lot more than what the stair tread cost. I think these here were probably $8.99 at Lowe's. Then this edging right here was just a 3/4 inch by 8 oak board that was over by the stair treads, and it was cheaper than a 1x4 3/4 piece of oak. So I got it, I cut it, and made these little edges on here. Glued them up on there, sanded it down, ran it through the planer, got a little bit more smoother. I'm cheap. I try to go the cheapest way that I can. I hope I gave you some ideas. Maybe, hopefully you learned something. I'm not a great teacher. In past places where I've worked at, they'd want me to train people. Like, it's a lost cause. It's just something I'm not good at. Well, hey, everybody, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you want. I'm going to try to do a lot more videos now that vacation's over and hopefully spring's coming up. Doesn't feel like spring here right now. But hey, I'll talk to y'all later. See ya! Okay, I feel kind of silly. Didn't even tell you what kind of shelf this was when I was staining it. This is, as you can see, is a floating shelf. And I thought I would just go ahead and show you how I attach this to the wall. I used pocket holes. Takes 3 of them, and you want to place the pocket holes in the shelf where there are studs behind your wall. So this one here, I could get 3 studs in there, so I put 3 pocket holes in there. And you'll want that screw, like on this back edge right here, you know, the halfway mark, you'll want that screw to come out a little bit below that halfway mark, so probably about 5/8 of an inch from this top area right here. That way it gives it more meat on the wood up there, so when you start putting stuff on here, it's more wood, you know, less chance of tearing out. This shelf here will probably hold 50-60 pounds alone, but there's no brackets. It's a pretty clean install, and I know I don't have those plugs that you can get, or you can use doweling to cover in these holes, but I'd like to be able, if I need to remove this thing, I'd like to be able to, you know, take it out of there with, you know, take it off the wall. I am going to put more stuff on this shelf, and look at that, it covers up that hole. Okay, back to the video. See ya!